So the next thing to take a look at is how do we work with this formatting right here. And I've zoomed in on my document a little bit. I'll bring it back down in size so that's about the right size, right about there, 100%. So I've got those headings and I've got the line under the heading. Well, what if I wanted to create a new section and have new material under that section? The first thing to do is to turn on non-printing characters. So I want to show all my non-printing characters. So I turn that on right up here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight sort of what I want to copy. And I highlight that, right? And I got a little bit of extra stuff under it. And then I'm just going to copy that. I could do Command C on the keyboard or just Edit, Copy right here. And I'm going to create a couple of new lines. And whoa, what just happened? I hit Enter a couple of times. And then this is a really sort of mysterious thing which starts to show up sometimes when you're formatting documents in Microsoft Word. You'll see if I turn off my non-printing characters there, I've got just a random line across the page. And as a matter of fact, if you go to Google and you search for, right, like Mac Word line across page, I found this article right here, but you'll find a lot of different articles, how to fight back when Word draws a line across the page. And so, you know, that's something that frustrates a lot of people. But the way you get rid of that, and the way I got it in the first place, is it's a part of a border. So I'm expanding my Word document so I can see all my options up here. You'll notice before I didn't see the borders option right up here, but as I expand, the border option shows up. So that's also a really good thing to know about if you're not in a full screen view. You won't see all of your options up here, and it's only by going into the full screen view that you can see them. So I've got my cursor right here on that paragraph, and I'm going to come up here, I'm going to say, hey, I don't want any borders on that paragraph, and now that border disappears. And so that's a nice way to get a line across the page, as a matter of fact. If I just wanted to type, here's some text, and then put a border under that, I could come up here and I could apply a border to the bottom, right? And I got a border all the way across. I could also apply a border to the top, right? And I got a border all the way to the top. And so I'm just going to Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, undoing all that to get rid of it. But that's how you get lines all the way under your text. And notice that line, let me redo that stuff. Oh, too far gone, can't do it. I'll retype it. More text. That line there with a border is really different than this line right here, which just underlines that one text. So the border does it to the whole paragraph all the way across the page. So that's kind of a nice thing to know. And so when I'm ready, I could just Command V and paste my new category of stuff in there. I could go in there and I could look at it, and I could start changing whatever I want this text to be. And there I'd have my new section where I could enter stuff. And again, I have a table down here, so if I wanted to go in and show the grid lines, I could see, yeah, that's a table right there. And I could either get rid of that table, right? So I could select that, and I could Command X, you know, to cut it, edit, cut, right? So let me undo that just so you can see it through the menu. Edit, cutting is the best way to get rid of the table. If I was just to select that table and hit delete on my keyboard, sometimes it just clears out the contents, right? It doesn't get rid of the entire table. That time it actually worked. So what do I know? But there we go. Either way, just cut it and then never use what you cut, or delete. But often I find cut is the more reliable method to do that. So last thing I want to show you in this video is the formatting of this text. And I'm going to zoom in on that text just so you can see it a little bit. But you can see, okay, you know, is that just capital, or is there anything else going on with that text? And over here it actually stands out a little bit more. So here it looks pretty flat. But let's compare this one. And here you can kind of see the difference. So here we have education there, and here we have education here. And make this a little bit larger. And I'll let you just sort of determine which one do you think looks better. And actually in this day and age, this might actually be the call, because this is becoming more popular to do this thing which is known as material design and get rid of shadows. But here I have it with shadows. And so if you wanted to add shadows or get rid of shadows, I imagine you already know the answer to this, but you go up to Format Font, and then under Format Font we could come in here and we could start doing things under Advanced, where we could expand the spacing. And let's see, where did I add the shadows in Microsoft Word on the Mac? Text effects. Text shadow, there we go. I built this in Windows, and so I wasn't in here, but you can see the shadow's been applied. I could take that off, and now if I took that off and hit OK and OK, that shadow is gone. So once again, to do that, Format, Font, and then under font we go to text effects, and I could go here in text effects to text shadow, choose shadow, hit OK, and now I have that shadow back. And of course there's different options I had in there to customize the shadow. So I'll let you compare which version you like best. We'll put these back to view 100%, so view, zoom, and 100%, and then do the same on this one, view, zoom, 100%, and which one do you think looks better, without the shadow or with the shadow? I actually would probably lean towards that. So that's how you would insert some text, and that's how you would work with the lines, and that's how you'd get a new category if you wanted to add a new category to show different things on your resume. This is how you get the grid lines to show up and not show up, and that's how you format the text, either have a shadow or not have a shadow.